hello. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How is everybody doing out there on this lovely Tuesday? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back here, Elaine Proby, CEO PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. And today we're going to give you guys some information on the business aid, the PP loans and business aid, and how this is going to affect everybody out there with their businesses. So today we're going to talk about the PPP loan update on small business aid and what's that going to do for you and your business. Okay, so I want you guys to hit like and share this video. There's some great information that everybody is going to be very interested in. And, and this is just money in the door. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of all of these dollars, right? So we can stay afloat. That's the whole idea. All right. So, guys, the first thing today we're going to talk about, number one, is going to be the business aid for the small businesses. And so, a lot of small business, of course, was hit very, very hard due to COVID. Some of the doors are closed and, some people are not even able to recover right now. So they're constantly trying to figure ways to assist the businesses financially, right? One of the things we want to talk about today, guys, is that the EIDL loan, which was a small business loan, and that started last year, which was going to end December 31st of 2020, which is extended to December 31st of 2021. So when they started giving the EIDL loan, there was a grant of up to $10,000, which was $1,000 per employees. And I hope you guys remember this, right? It was $10,000, $1,000 per employee. And what happened very soon, the SBA ran out of that money. They quit giving out that grant. Some people got it and some people didn't. So even if you were approved for the loan, the SBA loan, the EIDL loan, economic injury disaster loan, even if you was approved for that loan, some businesses, and I know a lot of businesses, never received that grant money. Okay, so right now, that grant is back, right? So this is part of the business aid. The grant is back, guys. So if you didn't get the grant, you can go in and apply to get the grant money now. And if you, let's say you didn't get enough of the grant money, you have more than 10 employees. It's $1,000 per employee, up to $10,000. And if you didn't get all the money for all of your employees, you could go back in now and you can get that grant. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to pay this money back. If you did get an EIDL loan, you have to pay that back. But with the grant, you do not have to pay this money back. So you want to go in and make sure that you get that money now. Okay, so they had just stopped giving it out. One of the other things too, guys, in the for the small business aid, the monies that the expenses that you pay with your PPP loan, you are now able to deduct that money. So it brings you back a larger tax return. So your tax liability will be reduced, because initially they were saying that you cannot deduct the expenses when you paid with any of those with the PPP loan money. But now you can deduct those business expenses, guys. So it will reduce your tax liability. Again, this is major assistance for the small business. And we want to make sure, look, we have to stay on top of this stuff, because you got to take advantage of all of it. The worst thing is to lose money, not being able to make all your sales and revenues that you're used to having, and then on top of it, wind up paying taxes on stuff that you don't have to. So we must stay on top of this, okay? So that's the second point in the small business assistance, the business aid. And one other thing in there I wanted to talk about, guys. Let's say when you applied for your EIDL loan last year, and if for some reason you didn't provide the correct information, let's say your gross revenue was really more than you had provided them with. If you didn't get enough, right? If you didn't get enough money, you can go back in and apply for the additional funding. Make sure you stay on top of this. Take a look at what it is that you sent in. If your dollars was wrong, if you didn't get enough, if, for instance, even, if you had put the wrong gross information, maybe you didn't do your accounting properly, maybe you didn't have the right numbers. Now that you have completed your 2019 tax returns, and this is all based on 2019 because this is information that happened prior to COVID, you can go back in, guys, and apply for the difference in those money. Okay, so want to make sure that you take advantage of that, so that you can get those monies into your business to continue to operate. Okay, So those are the points on the business aid, and we don't want to miss that. Hi, Laverne. Hi, Inez. Thanks for jumping on. Hello over here. Hi, Kodiak. Thanks for jumping in. Hello, Biz. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Elaine Proby here, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. Again, we're bringing you guys this important information, all about making sure that you get funding for your business so you guys can stay afloat, right? So let's jump into the second point today. The second point today, guys, is about the restaurant and the venues assistant. There is lots of money in that bill. There's like $28.6 billion. The Restaurant Association really lobbied to make sure that there was money coming to the restaurant, because as you guys know, that's one of the areas that was really hit hard. There's a lot of restaurants that have been closed, and they have laid off more people. There's large restaurants that have hired lots of employees. They have laid off all those folks. Restaurants have been closed very long, and a lot of restaurants will not be able to come back if they don't get some real good assistance, right? So there's $28.6 billion in there for the restaurants. And you guys, there's going to be grants that's going to be able to be given out to these restaurants to get this funding to cover revenue that they lost during COVID. Okay, so you want to make sure, again, guys, we have to stay on top of this stuff, because this money is going to be there. And a lot of times what happens is, because you don't know that it's there, and because you don't know you can go ahead and get it, sometimes we miss it. All right, and that's the reason why we're having this conversation, so you don't miss this stuff. So if you're a restaurant, there's additional funding that's going to be there to give grants to the restaurant, because they've been hit so hard, and to be able to try to keep the doors open now that they are partially open in some states, especially here in California. And then, of course, going forward, being able to have enough to function and to bring back all of your employees on board. All right. So again, for the restaurant, let me give you a second point on the restaurant. What they did for the restaurant as well is on the PPP loan. Now, what they were doing with the PPP, you was giving 2.5 times your monthly payroll. For the restaurant, they increased that to 3.5 times the monthly payroll. So they want to make sure that there's enough money in the restaurants, right, to be able to bring back employees. So they're giving you 3.5 times your monthly payroll. So if your monthly payroll was $10,000, for instance, you're going to get 3.5 times the $10,000. So you will get $35,000 as opposed to $25,000 when they did 2.5 times. Okay, so that makes a lot of difference based on the size of your payroll, guys. So that's the second point in terms of what they're helping the restaurant out, right? Higher payroll on the PPP. They're doing that. And so if you guys had a restaurant and you have less than 300 employees, you know, this is for the small business, not very huge. It has more than 300 employees, but just for the small business. And this is what's going on. Also, too, for the venues, you know, the venues, the entertainment venues, you guys know those have been really hit. They haven't even been open. They have lobbied to get money in there for the venues. There's $1.25 billion that has been allocated to the venues for their relief as well. So if you're operating any of these venues, you know, any entertainment venue or anything like that, any clubs or any of that kind of stuff, make sure that you stay on top of this stuff so you know when it's time for you to go in and get this money. Okay. So that's the help for the restaurants and the venue. All right. So again, guys, I want to welcome you guys on here. Make sure you hit like and share this video, and then turn on your notifications so that you can get you know, so that you guys can get notified when we come back on here live. All right. So the idea is to get this money, get some money, stay afloat, make more money. Okay. So that you can continue to be operational. All right. So that you can keep your employees working and for the business to thrive. So my third point today, guys, for the small business aid, third point is about the PPP loan update. So we want to talk about the PPP loan update. First of all, this PPP loan is a second draw. If you never got a PPP loan before, the first draw, you can apply now, right? You can apply now. If you did get the first draw, you can apply for the second draw. There's only one thing about applying for the second draw. You have to at least have more than 25% less in revenue than you did in 2019. For instance, they want you to compare your quarters. So first, second, or third quarter, you have to compare your 2019 and your 2020 gross revenue. This is for the people who have gotten the PPP loan before. If your gross revenue is more than 25% in 2020 than it was in 2019, you made less money, which is what they're talking about. If you made less money in 20, you were eligible for the second go round of the PPP. Now, if you never applied for the PPP, you can go ahead and apply for the PPP loan now, which is the payroll protection loan. And you can go ahead and apply for that. Now, there's several lenders out there that's taking the application. What they have done also is to allow the smaller business to get the money, right? So they put a 2-week freeze on who can apply for the PPP loan, which was started in February the 14th, guys. So I don't know if you got into that slot, but they had put a 2-week freeze for the larger companies. They weren't processing any of their paperwork until all the small business, they left that little gap open. So small business folks with less than 20 employees can go in there and apply and get the money first. And now they're going to open it back up, I believe today or maybe tomorrow. So all of the other businesses will be back in to apply for this PPP loan, right? And it ends on March the 31st. Make a note of this calendar. It ends on March the 31st. So you must be, try to get in there now if you haven't already gotten in there. So let me tell you guys some good news about this PPP, right? So the good news, this is the part that I really like. All the self-employed people, right? If you're self-employed individual, you're an independent worker. Now, all of you guys, if you file a Schedule C on your tax return, Schedule C is your income and expenses for your business. Now, for the most part, let's say you made $50,000 and you wrote off $40,000, your net profit is $10,000. They were initially giving you that PPP loan, which is a payroll loan, on your net profit. That has changed right now. They have changed. So what they're doing it on your gross, because they're saying we got to help the small business people. We have to help the independent contractors. Most of them write off so much expenses they didn't make enough money. So when you use the net profit, there's not enough money for them to really get, to even survive, to even continue to operate their personal business. So they changed that to your gross revenue, guys, which is perfect. So if you have a Schedule C, you have a small business, look on line 7 in your Schedule C where it says gross revenue. When you apply for the PPP loan now, you will be using the gross revenue. It will bring you back a whole lot more money. Okay, so that is one of the good news as far as independent contractor and the PPP loan. So there's a couple more points I want to point out here as far as that is concerned, guys. What they're doing is they're eliminating the student loan a process that was in there. If you had a debt delinquency in student loan, you wasn't qualified. They eliminated that, which is great. It's no point in trying to help you get some money to survive, right? And then at the same time, you have all these obstacles that's hurting you from getting the money. So, it's counterproductive. So what they're doing, they're eliminating, if you have a student loan delinquency debt, they eliminated that. And what they have added too, they've added the non-citizen. If you're a small business owner, you're non-citizen, you have an ITIN number, you can apply for the PPP loan, okay? So they have added that. So to make it a lot easier, they're really trying to make sure that the small business people get some money to stay afloat during this COVID times, okay? So guys, this is my message for you today, which is what we want to talk about. I want to make sure that we stay on top of this stuff. And if you guys are out there and you haven't done any of these things, right, go back and listen to this video, right? Listen to this video. Make sure you take advantage of this stuff. And then I want you guys, if you need any help with any of this stuff, and you have to have your taxes done, all the stuff is going to ask you for a copy of your tax return. They're going to base it on 2019, guys. So make sure you get your taxes done, whether it's personal taxes for your sole proprietor business or for your business taxes with all your payroll information that you're going to need, payroll reports. You're going to have that to get the PPP loan. So make sure that you have all this stuff done, guys. If you don't, okay, give us a call here at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. This is what we're able to help you with. We not only do taxes, guys, but we're a financial service firm. We can help you with all the payroll reports if that's what you need. We can help you with your taxes. We can help you with all the accounting to make sure that you get this right so that you can turn in the proper paperwork and you can get your fair share of this money out there so you can keep your business afloat and you can get on the other side of COVID. All right. So this is my update today on the small business and PPP loan, small business update, and PPP loan update, right? Okay. So again, I want to thank you guys for jumping on here. Before you leave today, I want you guys to tune in on Thursday. Thursday is going to be great because we're going to talk about the stimulus checks. We're going to talk about what's in it for you. We're going to talk about, is it taxable? How is that going to affect you? Because even today, I'm still getting questions. I had a client call me just the other day and ask me if you got to pay back the $1,200 that you got on the stimulus check, and because somebody told them that they had to pay it back. And so people are still not understanding how that works, guys. We're going to talk more about the stimulus check, then third stimulus check that's coming out, and we're going to talk about how that's going to affect your taxes. Okay, so tune back in here on Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. and I will see you guys then. I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Hi, Maddie Dre. Thanks for jumping in here. Hi, Thomas Zero. Hey, Lorna. Thanks for jumping on. I'll see you guys back here Thursday at 1 p.m. All right. This is the COVID again. Follow instructions, you guys. Make sure that you listen to all of what they tell us to do, everything that they, the state or the city wants us to do to get out of COVID. Make sure that we listen to that so we can do that and get on the other side of this pandemic. All right. So with that said, you guys, I want you all to take care of each other and take care of yourself. I'll see you back here on Thursday. Bye-bye.